Auschwitz is like the A-bomb. Once it's brought into being, it cannot cease to be. The fact that that physical camp is not an operation is of course a blessing, but is not an answer. Because we know that Auschwitz is possible. I don't think we have the right to use props in Auschwitz, to prop ourselves, to support ourselves on the trappings of our faiths, our beliefs. If we dare to go there at all, we should go there in silence and with the soul exposed, okay? No group tours, no waving flags, no collective prayer. Do it outside the camp. But what you bring into the camp is your soul, unprotected. If you dare.
What do these things protect us from?
Well, it's the entire concept you see that Auschwitz is a museum. A museum is a safe place. A museum is somewhere we go to visit history, right? To see what is not happening. So we try, and in this way we try to domesticate Auschwitz. We should be scared shitless of Auschwitz. We should be terrified of Auschwitz. We're not. And I'm scared of this lack of fear.
But, so for me, the cross, it scares me because it evokes for me everything I've been learning from the misreading of Golgotha forward. The cross wrongly attributed to the Jewish people. The cross turned into a sword. The sword used against the Jewish people again and again. The cross casting a shadow on everything that Jesus of Nazareth means.
For Christians, it is natural to put up crosses on places where Christians have been murdered, right? Mm-hmm. Christians also have been murdered at Auschwitz I. This big cross is standing over a gravel pit where non-Jewish Polish Christian prisoners were murdered. I think a cross is legitimate there. I will not like it. I would prefer it not to be there. But I have to accept it, because I have to accept the legitimacy of other people's beliefs that are not the same as mine. But this cross is not there to, or not only there to commemorate the dead. It is to cast a shadow over the camp. It's big enough to do that. And in this, yes, this cross stands there against me. And I very much want to see it removed.
And I'm aware
replaced by a smaller cross, which will not be visible inside the camp.
What's your assessment of the general Christian community, Catholic, but general Christian community's effort to reckon with the tradition of anti-Judaism as a factor in what happened?
Well, I think that's a question that should be asked of Christians, not of Jews. But if I were a Christian, I would desperately need to have this cleared up.
Why?
Because in the name of the religion I would have believed had I been a Christian, contempt and hatred was taught for 1,500 years. And the fact that the Shoah occurred in Christian Europe is not a coincidence. Christianity is not responsible for the Shoah, but the indifference with which Christian Europe reacted to the genocide was Christian. 1,500 years of teaching that these are the enemies of God. These are an accursed race. This is not innocent.
Pope Benedict didn't refer to that.
No. This is the one thing that the Catholic Church still needs to do. They have to go beyond recognizing sins of individual Christians and recognize that the Church as an institution is responsible for that teaching. It's not the failings of individuals. The Christians are no better, no worse than Jews. I mean, that's simply unfair. Many of the people who went on hating Jews or killing Jews thought they were doing God's work. And that's because the Church taught them that. The church needs to accept responsibility for that teaching of the past.
And it hasn't happened?
It hasn't happened, and I'm not terribly surprised.
Why?
The church is a huge and ancient institution, and institutions change slowly. You cannot hurry a tree to grow faster, okay? You cannot hurry an institution to do its moral reckoning faster than it can do, and it would be wrong.
See, this is a challenge not just for my church, but for me, how I can affirm Jesus without my affirmation being at the expense of someone else.
If you look at the world it is today, and you ask yourself, has the revelation brought in more good or more evil into the world? Jury's still out.
The jury's still out. On our monotheistic tradition in particular, are you talking about?
Yeah. I would just look at the track record of the things done in the name of religion.
So all of us, Christians, Jews, Muslims, have some serious self-critical thinking to do.
Within our faiths, between our faiths. I would not say we're giving God a good name on this planet, okay? If we are the people of God, if we claim that we have access to His revelation, then frankly, I understand why people are not terribly convinced. And therefore, I think it's of the utmost importance, at least for people who consider themselves religious, to treat each other with the respect that they claim God's creatures deserve. And frankly, look at us.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us Christians, look at us Jews, look at us Muslims, right? I don't really think we've thought hard enough on it. We tend to think of Auschwitz as a kind of one-time horror that we're immune to. And that's simply not true. First of all, we repeat like a mantra, never again, right? Biafra, Cambodia, Rwanda. I mean, the list could go on.
Sarajevo,
Srebrenica. We know exactly what never again means. It means